Yeah, this is going to be a part one and part two video because I thought I had to charge my laptop and I plugged it into the laptop, but I didn't have it plugged into the outlet. So that was my fault. As I was saying, that the role for the Queen of Swords might be different than maybe what her job would normally be. Or maybe there's more responsibility on another person. There's the dynamic of cups and swords, and I wasn't looking at that at first when I was saying the combination of cups and swords are the elements of water and air. So there does seem to be that type of duality. It is specific because I wouldn't say that because water and air aren't opposite elements. Um, I feel like they they jive with each other. They're not like air and earth where there's a noticeable energetic difference, if you were to say that. The King of Pentacles is showing up here too, which was in the last reading. Um, it's in the overall energy. And I would say how to overcome the obstacle. This could be a new endeavor, even a challenge for the Queen of Swords. Because to overcome the obstacle, you're going into earth energy. And as I said, air and earth aren't, they're opposites. And so it kind of reminds me of like The Sims, where you have, at least for the latest Sims, like you have like dislikes. So it can be as easy as like telling your sim to do something and it's going to do that, but unless it's like glitching. But if the sim dislikes something that you're trying to get it to do, good luck trying to get the sim to do it, because the sim will probably do it for a couple seconds and then go back to doing something else, because when it dislikes something it almost refuses to do it, which I feel is because it's supposed to be like kind of a life simulation. Is it simulation? Um, because in life you do some things that you're like not trying to do or not really like into doing, but you have to do it anyway. So this feels like something, almost maybe a responsibility that is coming about. And maybe it's not something, it's not like they don't want to do it, but it's just such um a defiant type of noticeably different element that you have to change into. It's almost like rebuilding your routine in some way. um I feel like with the Queen of Swords in this instant there is something about getting like really going hands on with this and taking it by the me always saying sayings that I don't know like the whole saying for, like taking the reins on something. Um, and I feel like there's more of a qualification than you think, because there might be something that kind of like stops that, like the sim where um you're thinking, I don't usually do this, or this isn't part of like the resume or the things that I normally am doing, but I'm going to do this anyway. So I feel like the Queen is not that far off, and you have the Queen of Cups, and that's like, I feel like an important aspect of it. And it almost acts like a motivator too, because it's just that sense of knowing. As I said with the Nine of Swords, I feel like it puts the Queen of Cups puts the Queen of Swords into a good direction. Um, a little random, but when I ordered an electric spinning wheel from Ukraine at the end of last summer, and it just felt like it was something that I was meant to get. And I just felt like it was going to be, or it was mine. Like, I was like, this is it. And nothing wrong with it getting shipped from Ukraine. It was with USPS, the US Postal System. So again, I ordered it at the end of the summer, and months passed. They lost my package, and then in Ukraine, it was the seller retrieved it, like they found it, and it was in the condition that was still um, like it was when it was being shipped to me. So had it reshipped, but had it shipped with FedEx instead, because I'm like, I'm not going to deal with that. And it was less than a week shipped FedEx and it arrived. I didn't have to sign for it. Um, it was just like I got it. And it kind of feels like that with just in my life with like applying for like immigration papers too, because it feels like a process, but it felt like a good process. So I'm just sticking to that feeling. And there's like things that you still do in life, and there's preparation and a lot of waiting, especially with everything going on with the government now. So we'll see. I didn't turn over the other cards. So I feel like there's like a feeling of going for it. Even if it's a new experience or a new technique that hasn't been established yet. And it almost reminds me of like the Avatar, the Last Airbender. They had like other series too. They had like The Legend of Korra with it. And it's a cartoon and it's mastering all four elements. So with the Queen of Swords, because the Swords is also air, so it's like mastering all these things and going against the Fire Lord. So I feel like this is like part of the preparation. And it's interesting because air first meets water, first meets the water tribe. Oh my god, it's like fun. Um, the other two cards that I just turned over, the two Pentacles and the Six of Swords. I feel like these are heavily together. This could be a little bit of frustration with the Two of Pentacles because the Two of Pentacles can be a rocky path, but the Six of Swords, I feel like there's more patience that comes out of it. And it's like the acceptance of knowing that this needs to be done. And I feel like it makes the process and like the perception of make doing this process a lot easier. Because the Six of Swords too isn't a card that is smooth sailing. It's a card that is almost like a getting past certain inner battles. It can be in our minds because it comes from the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a little bit of a harsh energy out of like the minor arcana cards, and it often goes up against an opposing energy. And it may have been accepting certain things that may have pushed us down. The Six of Swords, I feel what makes things move forward and what makes success apparent or reachable is that it's not an energy that gives up, it's an energy that picks itself up, even when there's a lot of things that may have even traumatized or affected the person or people. It's just the strength to keep going. And even if it's a minor arcana card, it is one of those stronger um, energies. Also, with the King of Pentacles, you have the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is, it does meet up with the Queen of Swords. I feel like it is really like there are certain things that need to be done that might be tedious or that might be out of the realm or element that you normally work in. But there is something that's fulfilling, and it does seem like there's the clarification that, um, like it's hotter, it's colder type of thing. Like it's in a good direction. I feel like you might get that recognition with the Nine of Swords, because the Nine of Swords is also in your face, similar to the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords almost is like it can be insulting, it can be arguments or somebody bringing you down. It's scapegoating, it's stuff that isn't exactly, usually it's not something that is pleasant. It's like almost somebody trying to challenge you or like taking your light. Especially like it kind of made me think, um, just out of like in past experiences with maybe like friend groups or like people that say or like claim that they stick by you, and then the second when they feel like or when they see that you have to rebuild your life again in some way, because I feel like life is always doing a bunch of different things. It's like the dance of life, and sometimes you make up your own dance, sometimes it's like more routine. Sometimes people can despise that the dance that you dance is something that just seems like it's not difficult for you. And that kind of feels like it's the outside looking in type of energy where um, maybe groups that you used to associate with, or this is just an example, um, once they see that maybe something happened in your life and it's their opportunity to like steal your light from you. And the reason why it doesn't work like that is because my light is my light. It doesn't work for you because it comes from me. And it makes sense because it doesn't make sense because it's not something that they replicate. It's not something that they know how to bend. It's something that is not theirs. It's almost trying to like dethrone. That is almost an energy that I get from like the Five of Swords, even though the Five of Swords doesn't show up, the Six of Swords shows up. It's almost like an energy of like um somebody trying to dethrone you, and it's like, for what? You want to bring me down when I have my own path and you have your own path. Like, why is it so necessary for you to um get in my way? So the Six of Swords really comes in, and picks herself up or picks himself up and is their motivator. But I really feel like the cups energy, there's something about like the duality of the cups and the swords that is good because I feel like a lot of times with the swords, especially the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords too, it's like there's signs that may have um they're not as expressive in maybe an emotional way. I feel like they can communicate, but there's something that is almost like a stonewall about the personality that is one of it's like a descriptor that like this the Queen of Swords can get, that it's almost like it can almost be seen as a little harsh too. I did see a video and I thought it was interesting because Queen of Swords also links to Libra. I'm not reading signs, but like the air signs and the water signs here. It was like saying that the Libra is it the most dangerous sign of the zodiac, and I thought it was interesting, so of course I clicked on it, and it was like it's one of those things where everyone has their own personality. I just feel like I feel like it's noticeable with like male Libras and um they're just and female Libras, there's like I feel like I'm more chilled out. I mean, that could just be coming from me. And then male Libras, it's kind of like more aggressive. And again, that's just a generalization. I'm not saying it for everybody. I will say that it was like talking about how the Libras they seek justice. That would be like one of their general things. But it's almost seen as like almost religious to them because of the lengths and like the beliefs and again the lengths like how far they'll go to reach the justice that they feel like is needed. So this could be within their scope or realm in their life. This could be more of like a worldly matter. And a Libra reverse, like if, and this could be obstacle too, that no one could tell a Libra otherwise, or it doesn't have to be Libra, no one could tell this person otherwise, because what this justice is like what it is to them, and they're determined to see it through. Um, they're willing to go through the costs to get that thing completed or fulfilled. There's also this sense of, and this is just a little bit of random stuff, but the sense of like getting things completed again with Libra reverse, it could be, but it's also, it could be upright too if you see it in a brighter way. But with like a Libra, it might be like kind of surprising of maybe how things can be dictated or said and completed when there's that communication there, and it kind of just slips in because it's it might be 1 minute it's one way and the next minute because a Libra said for this to be completed, it could have been like maybe a form of manipulation if you're thinking about a Libra reversed, and somehow the Libra gets like through the cracks and is able to infiltrate certain things that maybe just by the way that they carried through with their plans, and it went like above the people and they didn't realize what was going on. So that was that video. But anyway, um, gonna go with the last couple of cards. The past is the Ace of Wands. So plans were met. I feel like with the in the past, and you see these mountains, or you see these areas, and it kind of reminds me of places like to jump to because it's the wands and it can link to fire. Well, wands is fire in this deck, and just like certain leaps. Some areas are more difficult to reach than others, and I feel like the Queen of Swords may have figured that out. And it was almost like going through plans A through Z of what was necessary, but now it's really bringing out like the specialty cards of like maybe if you're playing cards with somebody, then you were holding on to certain cards to play um, because you're like, I don't want to play it unless I need to play it. I feel like the Queen of Swords is getting into that mode where she or he is again doing the things that she feels like is necessary or he feels like is necessary to complete this mission or complete this task. I don't feel like it's a bad thing. The Queen of Cups is there because I feel like the Queen of Cups, honestly, with the emotional support here, I feel like that's one of the main things with the Queen of Cups in this reading. Um, I feel that it's in a good way, and because the Queen of Swords may not be like in the happiest mood or just not in the mood for certain things, and then it's almost like soothing or healing and again motivating her or him to keep going. So the last two cards are the Death card and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Death card is the only major arcana card here. I really feel like it's a big change, and it's a catalyst type of change because you have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands here. You have the Two of Pentacles, so it moves forward too, and moving energy is also the Six of Swords. So the Ace of Pentacles feels like it starts off on that journey. And the reason why the Death card seems so evident is because something was done so differently that it just kind of changed the trajectory of things. It took stuff like out of the routine and it made life, it made something else. And the Ace of Pentacles can, well, it almost feels like a reward or like gift that was given because of this death. And with the Queen of Swords, I would say that it's a queen that seeks or fulfills things or gets things done. I feel like that could be um, something that can be linked to the Queen of Swords, even maybe the Queen of Pentacles too. Um, you have the King of Pentacles. Uh, Sometimes, like the Queen of Swords can be seen as cruel because it just seems that it's without batting an eye that the Queen of Swords will fulfill what needs to be fulfilled. Um, and again, just to reiterate that it doesn't seem like it's a bad thing. And the Queen of Cups is definitely keeping things as kind of smooth sailing because the Six of Swords, even that, because I was saying with the Nine of Swords, it's like water and air, and the Six of Swords is literally water and air, like water in the pitcher and air like the sword suit. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in another video. Bye.